Hi folks, today's tutorial is quite interesting. Today we'll be combining the styles of Glassmorphism with Neumorphism to create a layered and dynamic layout in PowerPoint. We'll begin by designing this neumorphic layout, which is super cool on its own, but then we'll take it a step further and add this Glassmorphic card over the neumorphic layout. So without wasting any further time, let's get designing. Let's start the design by creating the neumorphic layout. The first step will be to create these pulsing circles. Now, in order to create these circles, a single circle has a dark shadow and a white shadow to it. So let's create these first. Let's go to a blank slide and simply draw a circle. Let's remove the shape outline of this circle and then fill it in with this lilac color. So let's go to Shape Fill, Eyedropper and pick up this color. First we need to create the dark shadow on the circle. So these are the settings we'll be using. You can pause the screen to read the settings if necessary. Let's click on the circle, go to Format Shape and add a shadow to this. We'll add the offset bottom right shadow and follow these settings. So let's increase our transparency to 74%, the blur to 20 points and the distance to 15 points. And that creates a shadow around our circle. Now simply duplicate this circle and change the angle to 225 degrees. And change the color of the shadow to white. Let's delete the settings and let's add a background color as well. Let's send it to back and fill in the same lilac color. So now we can clearly see the two circles with their shadows. Let's align the two circles over each other. And then select both circles and group them. So now we have a neumorphic shape ready for our slide. Let's increase the size of our circle and copy it. Let's decrease the size of the new circle and place it over the initial one. And let's create yet another copy. So now we have 3 circles. Let's resize the third copy as well. Let's select all 3 circles and make sure they are aligned, both in the center and the middle. Now that our neumorphic shape is ready, let's go ahead and add the beats animation to this circle. So let's select our first circle over here, go to Animations and add the pulse animation from the emphasis effects. Let's go to Animation Pane, right click on it, go to Effect Options and under Timing, let's change Start with Previous and Repeat until end of slide. Then click on the circle, go to Animation Painter, double click on it and then transfer the animation to both the other circles. Now let's take a look in full screen. Now as you see, all the circles are pulsing together. We want them to alternate their pulses. All we need to do is select the second animation, drag it a little bit, and also increase its duration. And then we can select the third animation and also move that a little bit out of sync. So if we check it now, all three circles are moving at a different beat. Now let's arrange our circles in the layout. We can select all three and drag them to one corner, and then copy paste the circles. Let's resize them by pressing Ctrl Shift and dragging them inwards to make them a little small, and drag them to the other corner of the slide. Let's take a look, and there we have our pulsing neumorphic circles. Let's go ahead and add some extruding text to our layout now. Type in your text and change the font. I'll be using Montserrat Black for this layout because it's a nice big bold font and it's easily readable. Especially when you make it neumorphic, the text has to be very clear and readable. So let's add this. Let's close all the other things. Let's change the text color to lilac as well. Let's right click, go to Format Shape, in Text Options and Effects. Let's give it a bottom right offset shadow. Let's duplicate this text box. Change the angle of the shadow to 225 and the color of the shadow to white. Now let's overlap both text boxes by center and middle aligning them. Let's take a look, and there we have a neumorphic text. Let's add a second content box. So I'll just duplicate these two and change the text in them. We can also change the hue of the second text box to make it stand out from the first by going to Text Options, Solid Fill, and in the color drop-down menu we can go to More Colors and use the slider to make the text darker or lighter. So in this case I'm making it slightly darker than the previous text box. Now let's align both our text boxes properly by center and middle align. Let's group each text box and place it in the layout. And there we go. The alignment is slightly off, so let's make sure that works there. And we can now go ahead and import a picture. So I'm using this existing image of a headphone. Let's resize it and place it slightly over the text. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a pretty cool neumorphic layout. In the next step, let's learn how to add glassmorphism to this. For the glassmorphism aspect of this tutorial, let's duplicate our layout and delete the circles we've created. Next, let's save this entire slide as a picture. So we can go to File, Save As. Instead of PPTX, we can choose JPEG and choose the folder that we want to save it into. Since we don't want to save the entire presentation, we choose just this one. And that will save this entire layout as a JPEG. So let's go to a new slide and insert the image that we've just created. Next, let's add a rounded rectangle to the slide. Let's adjust the corners. Remove the shape outline and let's add just a little bit of transparency so we know the placement. Let's adjust the placement of our rectangle depending on the content behind it. And once you're satisfied with that, click on the background JPEG, copy it, and go back to the shape and do a picture fill source from clipboard. Then let's go to picture format, go to crop, and adjust the picture to match the background. So now our shape is filled with the exact picture behind it. Let's go to Artistic Effects and add the blur effect to this. We can also go to the Artistic Effects and increase the radius of the blur that we want. Let's take a look. And in order to delineate the glass a little better from the background, let's give it a shadow. Let's increase the blur of the shadow and the size. You can play around with the settings until you're satisfied that the glass is standing out nicely from the background. Let's select our shape, create another copy of it, overlapping the previous shape exactly. Let's right click on it, go to Edit Points, and delete the right top points. Then let's change the fill to a texture fill. I'm selecting newsprint over here and I'm increasing the transparency to roughly 80%. This helps give a slightly frosted glass feel to our glass card. We can then go ahead and group these two. I'll now add some text to our card. Some features talking about the headphones maybe, and an unblurred image of the headphone as well in a different color. If you feel the text or the new image is clashing a lot with the background, we can go ahead and increase the blur even more. And maybe increase the font size of our text. And once we're satisfied with this, we can select everything on our card and group it. Now all we need to do is copy this new card onto our existing animated layout, paste it on, and add an animation which is an entrance animation called Fade. Let's go to the animation effect and increase its duration. We'll leave this on click. So now let's take a look at the final result. We have our animated neumorphic layout playing, and as soon as you press click on the slide, the Glassmorphic card appears with the features about the headphone. So that, folks, is my thought on how we can combine Glassmorphism and Neumorphism into a single layout. If you have any further suggestions on what could be done with this method, do leave a comment. I hope you find this content helpful. Hit the like and subscribe buttons to show your love. Once again, thank you for watching, and remember to keep on creating.